Recording. Hey all, how you doing? I wanted to give you a tour of Canvas. Some of you are familiar with it, some of you are not. It's your first semester at the college. And so we are on the home page. You automatically have access to this once you have registered in the class. So let's go over a few things. I highly suggest getting Notepad out, a writing instrument so you can take notes on how to get from one place to another. So here's going to be my first recommendation. My first recommendation is that you turn your notifications on. I send out announcements on a regular basis. And if you don't have your notifications turned on, you may not realize I just sent out an announcement. And so you're like, well, how do I do that? So over here, there's a little face, right? Mine is empty on this particular one because I'm on the student view. But you click on account, all right? And right here it says notifications. Click on notifications. Because I'm in student view, it doesn't give me access. But it will give you the opportunity of turning on the notifications for announcements, for discussions, for assignments, for whatever. So my recommendation is you turn those on, okay? All right, so let me get back to the home page. So read through the home page. I have a cute little video here based on Mission Impossible, so go have fun with that. Down here in the middle is a little bit about me, my email address, my virtual office Zoom link, so you have that. My office hours, Mondays and Wednesdays between 1 and 2, that's virtually. And then I also am on campus this semester, so I have some in-person office hours as well. And yes, it is early in the morning because I have a pre-calculus class that starts at 7 a.m. And so if you happen to be on campus, come see me and ask your questions. Okay, so you've got some quick links here for student support, weekly modules. So day one, introduction and orientation. Start here, so start there. Click on it, and it will take you to the orientation module. It will start with an introduction. And when you read the introduction, I have a video here, which I'd like you to watch. It's a TED Talk. It's probably 10 to 15 minutes. It's a very cool TED Talk. I think you'd enjoy it. It'll change your mindset a little bit. Here are some objectives. By the end of the week, you'll be able to find where the syllabus is, where the announcements are, where the discussions are. You'll be able to navigate. There's a Canvas student guide in case you need some other assistance. Activities and assignments this week. First off, go through the orientation module, respond to discussion because there is a discussion, and check out any announcements. So after you read or go through this particular page, you'll click next at the bottom, and you'll move on to the next tab of the orientation module. And this is how this will go until you end up at the very last page of the orientation module. And when you end up at the very last page, you'll end up, and you click next, you'll end up in the next module. All right, so let me stop there a second. Syllabus, you notice there's tabs over here. You can find the syllabus by clicking on the syllabus tab. And this is available for download if you'd like to download it. And it goes through information that you are going to need for this semester. Again, my office hours Zoom link, important dates for the semester, etc. So when your final exam is, it will be Monday, December 12th. So please make certain that you put that in your calendars. And here are some other items for the semester in terms of college's due dates. Last day for refund, withdrawing from classes, dropping classes, holidays, all that great stuff. The announcements tab, you can click on the announcements tab, and it will give you some announcements. So here is the first announcement that has been released out to you already, and you can always go back and look at the announcements on the announcement tab. So you've already read through this, I'm sure. There is important information in here, so please make certain that you read through this well and take whatever notes you need to. The last paragraph says that in the discussion area, there is a mandatory starter question. So please make certain you do that mandatory starter question. There's also in the discussion an academic integrity statement that you need to read and reply to. So please make certain you do that as well. Okay. You can get to the starter question by clicking on starter question, or you can go to the discussions and click on discussions. Both will get you there. Here are the discussions for the semester. Some of them are not available yet. The starter question will be available on the 21st of August, and it has to do with study groups. So I'm going to leave that as a surprise to you to read. Academic integrity statement, again, it will be available on August 21st. Click on that. That is something that you also need to make certain that you read and reply to. Okay, I'm going to click on modules over here. Now, when I click on modules, it gives me the very first module in this module tab. And this first module gives you information about Southwestern College resources. So you can click on any of these tabs whenever you'd like to. All right. As we scroll down, there is a module on review handouts. Now, some of these you're going to need, some of these you're not going to need, but I figured it'd be kind of nice to put them all in here just so you have something to look at. Completing the square is going to be very important. Some of you have actually learned the shortcut of negative b over 2a. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, you can't use that in this class. Yes, dramatic pause. You cannot use the shortcut of negative b over 2a for parabolas in this class. Make certain you know how to complete the square. Write that down in big, bold letters, because inevitably I have somebody that uses it on the exam and they don't get any credit points. And they're like, wait, what? And I have said it in this particular video. I say it on the exam. I say it in my lecture video. So please make certain that you understand how to complete the square. All right. Long division of polynomials in case you need that, properties of exponents, rationalization of denominators, synthetic division, etc. The orientation module is the next one, which you've already been through by this particular point in time. And here's our first actual lecture module. It starts August 22nd to September 4th. It's on chapter 11. Start with the first tab, chapter 11 preview. And when you go through the preview, it tells you what you're going to learn by the end of this particular chapter. When you're done, click next to continue. And in this next tab are my lecture videos. The great thing about the lecture videos is you can pause and rewind. You can close caption them. They all are closed captioned. So you can click on that as well. You can see if I'm actually writing backwards. I inevitably get that question. Are you writing backwards? I'm going to let you all figure it out. So each tab goes through a different section. So here's for the 11.2 section. See, there's a closed captioning already turned on. Here's the matrices and the row operation. There's matrix algebra and matrix inverses of matrices. And some of these have a couple of videos. So please make certain you go through and watch all the videos in that particular tab. Okay. And then when you get to the bottom, there is the homework and quizzes. You can get to that here, or again, I'm going to click on modules. Or when I scroll down to go find the chapter 11 module again, all the homeworks and quizzes are already inside the chapter 11 module. Now, the honors homework is not required. If you would like to take this class with honors, then you need to send me an email. Please make certain you write this down. If you would like to take this class with honors, you need to send me an email with your name and your student ID number by August 31st. I shall send it to the honors counselor who will verify if you qualify to take this honors portion of this class. If you take the honors portion of this class and you succeed with the honors portion as outlined in the last page of my syllabus, then you will receive honors credit on your academic transcripts. Okay? But again, read the last page of the syllabus for more information about the honors portion of this class. And again, this is optional. So please do not send me an email going, hey, do we have to do the honors portion of this class? I'm going to refer you back to the video. Okay? All right. Now, the homework is mandatory. The quiz is mandatory. Each section has homework, honors homework, and quiz. What you must do is the homework and the quiz. You do not have to do the honors if you're not in the honors portion. You're like, yeah, but what if I feel like doing the honors homework for fun just to see if I can do it? Well, that's great. Be my guest and do it. It will not count towards your grade. So just FYI, can't hurt your grade. All right? Now, speaking of grades, I'm clicking on the grade tab over there. Over here on the right gives you the weight of each item that counts towards your grade. Discussions are worth 5% of your grade. Homework is 5% of your grade. Right now, the honors homework is 0% of your grade. If you decide to do the honors homework, it will then be counted into your grade. Quizzes, 5%, extra credit, 5%, practice tests, they don't count, 0%. Exams are 70% of your grade, final exam is 15% of your grade, and now the total percentage is not 100%, it's 105%. That extra 5% is the extra credit. So if you're like, wait, the extra credit is hurting me, I didn't do the extra credit, I've got zeros on it. Well, it's not hurting your grade because 0% or 0% of anything is still 0, which means instead of getting a possibility of 105%, you only get 100%, which is exactly the total percentage available. Okay? All right. And now, the question of how do I get to my homework? It is done through an online program called My Math Lab. The only way you enter it is right here where it says My Lab and Mastering. You click on this. And then you click on Open My Lab and Mastering, and it will walk you through registering for My Math Lab through Pearson. This is the only way that you're allowed to register for the My Math Lab is through Canvas, because that is how it is set up. So don't email me for any kind of code, those of you who are used to My Math Lab, because I have no code to give you. This is linked to Canvas, so you must register through Canvas by clicking on My Lab and Mastering and clicking on Open My Lab and Mastering. Okay? Okay. And now, exams. They're not taken through Canvas. Let me go back to the modules. Let me scroll back down to the Chapter 11 module, which is the first module. You have the preview, you have the lecture videos, you have all the homeworks and quizzes for each section. And as you keep scrolling down in the Chapter 11 module, you will see review homework, which is extra credit. So people always ask me, is there extra credit? That's your extra credit. There is the practice test, which we already said is 0% of your grade. So don't worry about doing it, not doing it. However, I recommend you do it, right? Because that's going to give you practice for the real exam. Here is the exam. And by the way, the Chapter 11 discussion, here's another way to get to it. Now, when I click on the Chapter 11 exam, I'm noticing a few things. First off, this Chapter 11 exam will be September 4th. It is by 11 p.m. That's the due time, okay? It is taken on an online program called Gradescope. Gradescope is free. I have inputted all of you who are registered for my class into Gradescope. You will receive an email from Gradescope with a link for you to create a free account so you can access all the exams. So you can click right here on Gradescope, and it will give you some of the exams. So this is actually into the old class that ended in the spring, but you can see the assignments that are already here. All right. Now, just FYI, there is a practice test that will be located on Gradescope. The practice test is to help you get used to Gradescope. There will be an announcement that goes out regarding Gradescope, regarding taking the exam, regarding uploading your work into Gradescope, etc. Okay? So please make certain you check that out. And watch that video and do the practice test, because when it comes time for that first exam, which is the Chapter 11 exam, I don't want you guys emailing me going, hey, how do you do this again? Because that's not going to help when you're trying to do the actual exam. The Gradescope exam is the practice for you to get used to Gradescope. All right? Does the practice exam count? No, it doesn't. However, again, it is practice for you to get into Gradescope, to take the exam and upload your work. And when you upload your work, you must match your work with each of the exam questions. So you're like, yeah, but I didn't remember anything on that practice test and I really should have. Don't worry about it. Practice matching your work with each exam problem. So if you didn't know how to do, like, say, problem number 5, write something down and practice after you've uploaded your work, matching that chapter 5, that number 5 work with the number 5 problem. I have a video in the announcement that shows you how to do that, okay? By the way, over here, it tells you the to-do list, okay? If you click on the calendar, it also gives you when things are due. And I think that's it for now. So, you guys have fun with Canvas. Please make certain that you go over the announcements, go over this video again. I hope you took notes as I was going through this and you were listening. I hope you took notes. That way you have a good idea of what to do if this is your first time working in Canvas. Okay, I think that's it for now. Catch y'all on the flip side.